And Cagayan de Oro, given all its resources, location, people, etc., Cagayan de Oro is very, very strategic for Mindanao. Given that we are right in the middle of the upper half of Mindanao. It's an education center, the government center, the trading hub, the logistics hub, the transport center, and certainly the one that has the edge in terms of connectivity to the rest of Mindanao, and including the Visayas. All the cities of Mindanao are within 500 kilometers from Cagayan de Oro. And so you have accessibility, connectivity. The Visayas are close to Cagayan de Oro, given our location as well. Filipinas Shell, as early as 5-6 years ago, built their second biggest depot in the country after Tabangao, here in Cagayan de Oro. So the depot supplies their clients' needs for oil all the way to the Visayas. That's why they're very close to the port in Macabalan. Around 2006, 13 years ago, when I was governor of Misamis Occidental, Coca-Cola put up their biggest, at the time, state-of-the-art plant in Villanueva, Misamis Occidental. At that time, the total capacity was something like 8. But the capacity in use at that time was only 3. Now I heard it's around 6 or 7 already. And the overall plan of that Villanueva plant, as early as more than a decade ago, was it would supply all the coke products, not just to Mindanao, but also to the Visayas. Again, given the strategic location. We all know that Villanueva has deep harbor. So that's why Philippine Center, the Kawasaki Group, was the first locator of the FIBDEC way back in the early 70s. So all these things are very, very important ingredients to growth and prosperity, and of course, government services. Kaya itong ginawa natin certainly will be an added boost to all our efforts to bring not just Cagayan de Oro, but the entire region and Mindanao to greater heights. Our philosophy, of course, is Cagayan de Oro should not be looked at alone in isolation of the rest. Cagayan de Oro draws its real strength, not just from Cagayan de Oro alone, but also from the rest of the region. Cagayan de Oro is a lot better. You look at it from the bigger perspective, the bigger picture. The bigger picture. As the region grows, Cagayan de Oro also grows. But Cagayan de Oro has a role to play. Cagayan de Oro has to lead the region. And that leadership has to cover not just business but also government services. Kaya lahat ng ating efforts to improve government services here in the city, hindi lang for Cagayan de Oro, but for the bigger perspective, for the whole region. Because then, more opportunities will be established, created, even outside of Cagayan. But of course, as these opportunities grow, Cagayan de Oro benefits from all of them. So this is merong reciprocal relationship. After all, we must be guided by history. In the beginning, Misamis, the old province, like Davao, like Cotabato, like Zamboanga, the capital of that old province was the town of Misamis, which became the first city ahead of Cagayan de Oro. That was Misamis City. Because the Spaniards chose to stay in Misamis because of its strategic military defensive position. Pangil Bay provided that protection to the Spaniards. Pero when the Americans came, they wanted to introduce education. And education requires accessibility. Education requires connectivity. And so they chose Cagayan de Misamis as the site of the first public high school in this part of the country. Misamis High School. In 1906, so more than 100 years old already. The first clinic, public clinic, was also established here in 1917. And that is now the Northern Mindanao Medical Center. So, because of the location, Cagayan de Oro plays a very significant role in the growth, not just of the region, but the growth of the upper half of Mindanao. Kasama na ang Caraga, kasama na ang Zamboanga. Caraga used to be part of the region of Northern Mindanao. And that region was based here in Cagayan. Kaya itong project nito is very, very important. Tapos, nabanggit ni Eileen, Cagayan de Oro has gained some headway in IT. Salamat for itong project ng USAID, yung INVEST program. This was started in 2012 and umusan hanggang una ang Cagayan de Oro sa ease of doing business, yung IT. And now, Cagayan de Oro has also made further advances in IT. Recently, Cagayan de Oro won, nabanggit ni Eileen, 3rd place and 2nd place in 2 of 6 categories. And we were finalists in 4 of these 6 categories. So IT is very much in the heart of the city government. I guess looking ahead, inanap ko kanina si O'Neill, kita ko si Dimbo. These are our top IT heads here in Cagayan City Government. Looking ahead, importante na we work together with the ICT. Let us not live in silos. Napakaganda ang prospects. So working together with the ICT, even our imagination now cannot comprehend where we will be heading 5-10 years from now. I bet you. Even what is in our mind now, mas lalong malawak ang aabutin natin 5 years from now. Importante lang, let's work together with the ICT. After all, that's their mandate. That's their mandate. Connectivity. Kaya they're doing everything they can. The challenge now sa atin sa local is, how can we converge with them? how can we harmonize with them? How can we work together with them? Because by doing that, we are able to optimize our resources. The results as well will be far greater than what we can imagine. Kaya hinanap ko talaga itong dalawa. Dahil, in telecommunications and information technology, it's hard to imagine how it will look like. Yung obsolescence rate is very, very high. What is state of the art now could be obsolete next month. What is the best now could become obsolete later. Napakabilis. And then, ang hirap i-capture. Ang hirap i-capture. So, this is one area that change has to, we have to chase that change. We have to chase that change. We cannot be ahead of change. But what's important is let us keep pace with that change. I hope na, dahil ito pinag-usapan natin, alam mo, sa DICT, national level, and this is true sa lahat ng national agencies, meron silang deliverables. Meron silang promise niyan to both houses of Congress and to the President. And all these promises, all these deliverables are for the entire country. For the entire country. But there is one factor that can be exogenous or they do not have control of, and that is collaboration with the local level. The better the collaboration, the more they can deliver. And this is true not only sa DICT. Agriculture, health, my God. Lahat yan. National government alone will not be able to do it. The only department that penetrates down to the barangay level is the Department of Education. But even the Department of Education, hindi pwedeng aasa lang tayo sa national level. Kailangan we have to help so that our education will be better than usual. Ang dami mga departments, the ICT, hanggang sa regional level lang sila. But that's not wrong, dahil hindi naman kaya sa gobyerno. That's precisely the national level has delegated to the local level their authority, their functions. That was the purpose, that was the reason for the creation of the local governments. Made stronger by the local government code, fathered by no less than Nene Pimentel. So, yan. We must remember that tayo sa local level are not a separate government. We are not a separate government. We are part and parcel of the national level. There is only one government to speak of in the Republic of the Philippines. And that is the government of the Philippines. Kaya, kailangan we work together. By doing that, we become more efficient and the national government also would be successful. We both need each other. So, it is imperative na we work together. Salamat sa, dito sa Cagayan, hindi tayo nahuli. Academe, we have USTP, Xavier, and many other schools focusing on engineering and science and technology. Hindi tayo nahuli. hindi tayo nahuli. Ang challenge lang is how do we gel together? How do we work together? Hindi lang yung antayin lang natin kung kailan lalapit ang national agency. At salamat ako kay Director Eva May that we have already been talking about possible support sa DICT in our Technical Vocational Institute initiative. And si Asek Castro has said they will support that. The idea is, itong senior high school was established for two purposes. One, prepare our high school to college, and two, prepare them either for entrepreneurial undertakings or employment. Yan ang purpose ng senior high school. Question. Ang laki ng nawawala sa ating mga pamilya dahil sa senior high school. Imagine, 2 years before entering college. Ang question dyan is, what will they achieve in those 2 years? In the meantime, the parents continue to spend, and then the children are getting old. So the challenge now is, how do we make the senior high school of good use sa atong mga kabataan? We must not be contented with what is in place. We must look for ways to improve. Kaya ginawa natin ang Technical Vocational Institute in order to improve on the skills sa atong out of school, etc., etc. And we have this ambitious plan of converting the old campus sa Cagayan de Oro National High School, which is now partly vacant. Gamitin natin for IT tech work. That's in addition to what we have done in Agusan, which is now sa mga welding, etc., etc. And we will establish more as we are able to complete the establishment of new campuses for our annex high schools. So, ang daming pwedeng gawin. Sa atong disaster, our disaster risk reduction program is one of the best in the country. One of the best in the country. Pwede nating improve pa yan with IT. Pwede pa yan. Atong health, we are working with DOST on the interoperability. Imagine all the health providers in the city and probably even the region will have a common data na interoperable siya. So, anong pasyente in one place, alam na kung anong type ng dugo niya, and so on and so forth. Anong medicine na kinukuha. These are very, very important. So, like I said, even our imagination cannot fathom what we will be seeing soon. And that is what science, technology bring to us. So the challenge really is how to just catch the change. So salamat kayo sa DICT, ASEC, maraming salamat. This is very, very important to us. And of course, sa future projects ninyo, nagbulungan kami ni ASEC, pwede tayong tumulong to fast track these plans of DICT. Ang city pwede maglagay ng equity dyan sa mga projects dyan. Pwede tumulong. Huwag lang sa backbone, hindi namin kaya ang backbone. Dahil masyadong malaki talaga. Pero yung mga barya-barya, ASEC, we must accelerate as fast as possible. Pareho yan sa tubig. Kung aasahan natin kung kailan ang revenues ng water district mag-accumulate for them to be able to fund infrastructure projects, by God, that will impact on the potentials of the city. Kaya, propose tayo, we are going to allocate 500 million para magtabang na tulong sa water district in their infrastructure projects here in the city. And ilan ang iuli lang. Isang wala interest. Pero that is an investment of the city. And if we don't do that, we are bound to lose on many, many opportunities. Sayang ang growth ng city. Sayang. Sayang ang mga recognitions and awards that the city has received. Dahil kailangan i-sustain natin yan. We must sustain. Success has its own price. And certainly we must all level up. The more successful we become, we have to level up. But then as we level up, the more successful we also become. So, ganyan lang yan. Importante, let's enjoy doing the things that we are doing at tulungan lang. Again, nagkasalamat po.